and he made a joke.
Everyone pay attention to Faye, please.
Luke Brennan made a joke last night that being gay wasn't a vice, it's a sin, and it was really funny. Wasn't that hilarious?
He was wrong, though. It's both.
Okay, that's
gay. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the firmament, the ether.
Oh, firmament's such a good
Yes, everybody places.
This is All in the Family Live. We are running a little late. We thought that we would open our cameras and hearts to you so you could see us in production. So just sit back for 5 minutes, pop yourself some popcorn. We'll pull things together as soon as we can. Thank you. We love you. Don't we, everybody?
Yes.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I wonder, just because you're a bigger person, if you two should switch seats so you're not blocking her from the view of both audience and camera. Yeah, so please, let's give it a try. Huh?
Who are you calling a bigger person?
The bigger person is saying it. I'm the bigger person because I addressed that he was a bigger person, and he.
Oh, okay.
And therefore,
you were calling me fat.
And therefore, he is a bigger person for me.
Does that look better, Dexter?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Do the other two need to be switched?
I think no. Jason's sideways, so you can see me.
Yeah.
If he was the other way, it would be bad.
Listen, watch Jason disappear. Jason is so skinny that I just put this mic stand in front of him. Where did Jason go?
If anybody, in all seriousness, if anyone who's at the table right now needs to grab a beverage or a device, please do so now.
Okay.
Yes, Papa.
Everybody clear the stage, and then we'll bring you on. Oh, and I'll be playing the role.
Okay, go. I hope you win. Go make wee wee. So then I said, no, you didn't. And he said, yes, I did. And then Christian said, I like Taramba. And then, at the end of the day, you know what? Is Vimiant a word? I don't think it's possible to attempt to shart. Because by definition, sharting is an accident. Because it's like, oh, you go to fart and you accidentally poop a little bit, therefore that is a shart. So if you're trying to, that's just pooping. That's not sharting. What a time to be alive. Here at the Cfta, live at James Street North. Dexter's on sound and audio and video, and he's killing it. Sean Patrick Sullivan is directing and producing behind the scene. Christian Reimer is absolutely killing it. He has a dog. Can I have one?
Who wants tea?
Me, please.
How many? Raise your hands, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
ASMR.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Have you ever considered playing the Corny Collins in Hairspray? Not Courtney Cox. Corny Collins. Have you ever seen Hairspray?
I have seen Hairspray.
You could do a very good Corny Collins.
Is that the talk show guy?
Yep.
Hey, everybody. That guy?
Yeah, you have a very. It's played by. He plays Cyborg in X-Men.
I haven't seen the movie. I saw the stage play.
Okay, that's fine. So he's the one. He hosts the Corny Collins show. Yeah, he hosts that too, and he's like, and then he sees the fat girl dancing, and he's like, hey, this girl can jive, and then he puts her on the show, even though Michelle Pfeiffer said, nah, you're fat. Very good movie, but you could do a very good Corny Collins. Fucking Michelle Pfeiffer. Well, remember, did you ever see the movie Stardust?
Nope.
Was it Stardust?
Ringo Starr?
I don't know. I don't think so.
John Travolta's an alien?
No, that's Hairspray. No, it's not. That was a joke.
Was that called Michael? Or an angel?
There was, so Stardust had, there was a star. The star fell down from the sky and became a person. and they were trying. The witches wanted to harness her power for youth, and Michelle Pfeiffer was there as a witch.
She was a great Catwoman.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
What makes that movie so special when we're all stardust? From the Big Bang to now, we're all just carbon byproducts of that moment. Therefore, we are.
In theory.
Did you hear my son's theory on where we go?
Yeah.
He actually said, he goes, what did you guys do before I fell from this space and into mommy's belly?
Oh.
He's like, yeah, I've always been out there. I just
He doesn't know what sex is. That's so. And the fact that he also, like, your friend, he's like, yeah, he's in the stars, and it's the one that twinkles back at you. That's like profound shit.
I know, I still send him his room.
Of course.
I'm not.
I produce. One day to learn about how the space worm really works. I do it all, kids.
On a less profound note, Faye, check out Stardust with Ringo Starr.
Okay.
Plays a Teddy Boy, and Keith Moon's also right. There's a bitchin' 30-second solo.
Right.
I'm gonna write it down. Oh, Jason. Oh wait, never mind. Hey, Ryan, could you pass me my phone, please? Hi. Whoever wants tea, it is at the bar. It's hibiscus, just like the turtles eat, and plastic straws. Koalas in the trees. Eucalyptus. Why aren't koalas considered bears? Because they don't have the proper qualifications. Hi.
Wait. Why are bears not considered koalas? Because they don't have qualifications.
Oh, it's so much funnier when a man does it.
You want me to explain to you why?
Yeah, please. Do you want to explain to me why I menstruate too?
Speaking of bears, she's up for everyone.
Bear paws. Meow. Those are cool sunglasses. Very cool. Also, that's a cool shirt. Also, that's a cool fiance you got there. I love that you own a woman. My owner's over there.
Where'd I pick you up from again? Oh, I thought it was Walmart.
I thought it was.
The yellow discount. No?
Next to the $5 movie bins.
Great relationship. We have a great relationship.
I believe you. I'm just going to be over here while you guys talk.
Two gums? Oh, my gums? Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't steal my last two gums either. Use the spray. The spray is good. It's become my time to talk. I've actually never. I've only watched this show on the way over here a little bit. So, I'm very excited to read in. Hey, Ryan.
I'm just going with it.
Is that the vibe I'm giving her? Hold on, I got one for you. Ready? Buttered sausages. Is that one all right? Is that one better? I love buttered sausages. I like buttered sausages. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. It was terrible. That's right. You're going to have some of my buttered sausage. Oh. It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Or a French thing. Okay.
You know you're getting saved in 10 years. There's a magic treasure chest. Every day you open it up, there's 3 square meals a day. You gotta pick a cuisine
Okay.
Did he? What did he pick?
What did he pick though? Yeah.
Was it the full
I'm
breakfast?
Curious.
Because if so, it was the full breakfast.
He gets everything British.
Oh, just anything British?
For 10 years.
Wow. So you just picked like. Why didn't you pick Italian food?
I mean,
Right?
think about how heavy that's gonna be on your little tummy.
Wow.
You pick British food, you're not lasting 4.
Yeah, he's done. He's on his way out in a few. It's the gravy that'll get you there, right?
Sorry, I just moaned a
The
little.
sodium levels are just.
No, I moaned. No, moan. I just foamed a little bit.
Hey guys,
Hi.
as people out there in YouTube and Facebook Live,
Folks.
know,
Her name is
we're starting the show in like 2 minutes. What I really love would be for all of you to get off stage.
Oh.
Can I leave my accessories?
Can I please finish?
Thank you. Yeah.
Can I please finish?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I hate being around comedians.
That's what he said.
So I'm going to sing the theme song, and then I'm going to introduce all of you. Please come on stage when I introduce you, okay? Okay. Ryan, you were offered an opportunity to be in the show. You said no.
I don't want to be in it. I just came by to watch. Okay. You're an actor. All right.
I'm a fly on the wall. I think he's an opening now.
I know the Kings of England and I know the fights are historical from there. For he's a very model of a modern maker. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the microphone.
Total silence, please. So everything that has transpired for the past 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it never happened. This is what we call in the industry a cold open. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, that's what we call a mistake.
From Television City in Hollywood.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew who you were then. Girls was girls and men was men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare states. Everybody pulled his weight. G.R. Old LaSalle ran great. Those were the days. Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Center for Talking Arts in downtown Hamilton, it is All in the Family Live. Starring Trevor McGee as Mike Stivic. Rachel Webb as Gloria Stivic. Faye Pollitt as Edith Bunker. And Jason Thompson as Archie Bunker. With myself, Sean Patrick Sullivan as neighbor Lionel, and your host, director, and narrator for the evening, the one, the only, Christian Reimer!
Hey, thank you very much. Good afternoon, good evening, hello, wherever you are out there. This is a pleasure to be here tonight at the Center of Talking Arts. We're about to kick off another cold read series with All in the Family, one of comedy's a historical moment in sitcom history. All in the Family, groundbreaking TV program created by Norman Lear. Norman Lear created Maude, Jeffersons, just to name a couple of the shows. Lionel's Place is a spin-off of that. This show is important for a number of reasons. This show actually changes the trajectory of sitcom television altogether on its own. Much like shows prior to it, many shows had canned laughter. This show was filmed in front of a live studio audience. They announced that in every episode. Every show had two storylines, as with the Bunker family and his daughter and Mike, which we'll meet here in a moment, and the whole cast. It introduced many of television's most lovable characters. Of course, the Jeffersons, George Jefferson, being one of my personal favorites. We had an introduction here in the pilot episode with one of the family members, Lionel Jefferson, who this is middle class, working middle class America. There was a time in American history, though maybe not unlike today, where there's like a lot of political turmoil, kind of a lot of political and strife, where people are kind of like, I'm left, I'm right, I'm left, I'm right. There's a lot of immigrant and migrant politics that's involved. And this show addressed all of that, very tongue-in-cheek. And many people would say this show was borderline, so was it horrible and bigoted? Our main character comes across that way, and we'll see if we can pull that off here tonight. That's Archie Bunker, played by Carol Connor, one of sitcom's great TV dads. And he just became iconic. Archie, and also spun off Archie's Place. Now, I might be jumping all around the place because I'm just filled with excitement. It's hard to actually get scripts of this show, but we got a script of the pilot episode.
We do, which is incredibly difficult to find.
Yes.
Now, Christian, while you catch your breath, I want to remind our beloved audience members that All in the Family, which begat perhaps more spin-offs than any other series,
that's right,
was itself a remake of a BBC series called Till Death Do Us Part. And in many ways, All in the Family is the collision of two trends. One was the trend towards socially relevant sitcoms, which had been inspired by Mary Tyler Moore, the success of that show. And secondly, by the rage which culminated in a show called Three's Company for remaking British sitcoms.
That's right, yes. The Brits gave us a lot to, including The Office, in modern times. That's right. That just like this show. And in fact, All in the Family, its origins is not just as a British sitcom, but was a stage play.
It was?
It was, yes.
So wait a minute.
Can we get our fact checkers on that? I believe that's, if I am correct.
So Death Do Us Part was originally a stage play.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That stuff happens.
And readers, I have another little fun pop cultural fact, too.
Oh, do tell.
Part of the characterization of Archie Bunker was based on Peter Boyle's bravura performance in Joe Avildsen's Joe, playing a racist, violent construction worker, which also distinguishes itself as Susan Sarandon's film debut.
Well, that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut on that one.
And as everyone can see, we've continued in the tradition of Archie being played by an overqualified stage actor.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, Archie. Listen, not all of us are old enough to remember this show. I barely, hardly. I frankly never heard of it until tonight, which is another lie. My role tonight will be this, as we're going to go through a quick casting round here, is I'm going to give directions off stage to kind of like, as a director would, though this is a cold read, to really bring some personification of the character and some levity to this, and see how it plays out. We'll mess around with it. We'll screw it up. We'll bring a classic. It might be your favorite show, or it could just fall apart terribly.
So just to clarify, Christian,
I will be directing off screen.
You are going to. You may ask people to read a line again or something like that.
That's right. Yeah. Any questions? Not in my movie. Okay. All right. I'm gonna step off stage, and then we're gonna get this underway. We're gonna start with a cold open. I'll also read the if there is any stage directions that need to be read, and if you, I'll just be right over here, just boop, disappearing. Okay, guys.
Christian, could you read the stuff like Act 1 and all of that?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Stage directions, the notey things. I'm gonna have my trusty production coordinator next to me, Ryan Sim, and Ballerina. Okay.
I thought you just like told us that Ryan Sim was a ballerina.
Ryan Sim is a ballerina.
But he is.
Here. Okay, here we are, live from downtown Hamilton, the live stage reading in front of a live studio audience of All in the Family, written and produced by Norman Lear and directed by, this evening, Christian Reimer, but originally directed by John Rich. This first was taped in December 15th, 1970, and aired January 12th, 1971. That's right. Anybody born then? Okay, moving right along. We'll start off All in the Family, Act 1, fade up. Gloria, put your hand up. In the dining room, setting table. Mike enters front door. Mike.
Gloria, I hurried back.
Good. You can take out the garbage.
All right, we're going to pause right there. This is Gloria and Mike. They're the daughter and son-in-law of Edith and Archie Bunker. Mike is he's affectionately known as Meathead. If you could personify a little bit of Meathead in this, just think Meathead when you're delivering Mike.
Okay.
Gloria, you're sweet, radical lefty, full of love and heart. Really want Mike to be the best man so your parents love him and don't kick you guys out.
I know you're the director, but an important nuance is, yes, he's a meathead, but he's college educated.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Yes.
very smart.
Yes, he gets it. These kids get it. This is the woke generation, 1960s. All right. So let's take this from the top. Go ahead. Mike. He's big.
Gloria, I hurried back.
Good. You can take out the garbage.
Nice.
Garbage is not exactly what I had in mind. Come here.
Not now, Michael.
Why not?
I want everything ready for when the folks get back from church.
Comes downstairs to table.
It's different, isn't it? An anniversary brunch.
Yeah. Well, I think your mother will love it. But your father, he doesn't care about anniversaries. I mean, you had to pick out a present for him to give to your mother, and I had to get the card, and he doesn't know about any of this. What do you think he's going to do when he finds out?
He'll have a fit. But then he wouldn't get her anything, and it'll make Mom's day.
What? Are you running from me? Come here.
Yeah, he kisses her.
Mwah.
Ooh. Yeah. Frisky.
Slow motion.
Do it.
Yeah. Now Mike continues delivering his speech after he gives her the licky smoochy kissy.
Oh, is it me?
Yes, it continues.
Oh, I got excited there.
Yeah, we noticed. Don't stand up.
Gloria, we've been living with your folks since we're married. We don't get the house alone much.
Oh, we're not alone. Lionel's upstairs.
Lionel? Why?
He's fixing the portable TV for Dad.
Okay, back it up. Let's just have fun with this one. Lionel, are we surprised he's upstairs?
What?
What do you think, Lionel? When she says Lionel's upstairs, what are you thinking? What would be your reaction? You don't know he's in the house? Are you surprised? Are you expecting him?
I'm not expecting him.
So, okay, deliver that line with surprise
Okay.
and question.
Lionel, why?
He's fixing the portable TV upstairs for Dad.
Mike reacts. Just. Hey, that's a good reaction. Gloria continues.
And then later, he's going to take the present and get some fresh cut flowers and deliver them together, just to make it more romantic.
Lionel enters. Lionel?
Set's good as new, Gloria. Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Hey, Lionel. How are you?
I'll get the present.
Gloria leaves.
Hey, so what's new on campus with all you angry white social democrats?
Oh, we're shaking them up.
Lionel laughs.
Oh, sorry. Hey, where's your father-in-law?
Mike.
Oh, he's at church.
Good.
Why? Is he still giving you a hard time?
Oh, I'm used to him by now. You know his latest kick?
What?
Asking me what I'm going to be when I get to college. He likes to hear me say, I'm going to be... Direction, please.
This is street slang, as though you're not very smart.
Okay, so, or is it that he's black? This would be a good time to let people know that, except for my lips, I'm not black, but my character is.
But we all come from the same origin.
Probably.
Thank you, Christian.
Asking me what I'm going to be when I get to college. He likes to hear me say, I'm going to want to be an electrical engineer.
Right? Like you're dumb.
And you say that for him?
Give the people what they want, man. How else am I going to become an electrical engineer?
Entering with a small package is Gloria.
Here's the present and the card. Mom likes just about any kind of flowers. So will $1 be enough?
Crazy. Where I get my flowers, this represents $1 profit. See you, man.
See ya, Lionel.
You're saying goodbye to a friend one more time. It sounds like you're suspicious of him.
I thought I was still suspicious of him because he was in the house, because I don't know.
Nah, he was just fixed. He's an electrical guy.
I didn't know he was my buddy.
He's your buddy. Wow.
Thanks for the direction. See ya, Lionel. See you later.
Yeah. Gloria turns into his arms.
All right, now, Michael. Promise me something for today. For their 22nd anniversary, no fighting with Daddy, okay?
Okay.
Gloria.
Thank you.
They kiss. He nods. Yeah. And she nods no. Because I was trying to make some whoopee. That's a 1970s reference for sex.
Oh, really?
Gloria.
No, Michael, not now. I don't have any time.
Gloria, they won't be out of church till 11:30. It's a 10-minute walk. We got time to spare.
Not now, Michael. I've got too much on my mind.
She exits the kitchen and he follows.
Oh, one little thing more. It's not gonna hurt.
But we have to be downstairs to yell surprise.
They'll be downstairs. Let them yell surprise.
For their own anniversary?
Come here.
You clearly see that they're a frisky young couple. Okay, he starts kissing her and muttering. He mutters, "Yeah, it's the anniversary." And she responds, cut to the front door area. Two other voices are heard coming towards the apartment from the outside. It's Archie's voice. He's off screen.
If you don't like what I do, then what the hell did you bring me there for anyway?
I ain't gonna quarrel. Oh,
Oh, cut. Use the mic. Use the
Yeah.
mic there, Archie. Archie, use the mic. One more time.
If you don't like what I did, then what the hell did you bring me here for anyway?
I ain't gonna argue with you, Archie.
As they enter, Edith continues.
It's maybe the 4th time in 22 years you've been to church with me, so I'm grateful for the half the sermon we sat through.
Half a sermon was plenty. He said all I wanted to hear, and I've been to church with more than 4 times in 22 years, too.
Well, maybe it's 6 times. 7 if you want to include the time we were married in the church.
She takes off her hat. Continues.
Look, I don't want to make no World War III out of this.
What do you call all this?
The table set with the good glasses and all. Oh, it's for our anniversary. Look, Archie, Gloria and Mike, they made us a brunch.
A what?
A brunch.
Brunch.
He picks up a magazine. And he continues. From his brunch.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it figures. She's reading Cosmopolitan again.
At this moment, Mike enters, carrying Gloria. They are locked in a kiss as they head for the stairs. Archie and Edith regard them, what's that, wordlessly?
Wordlessly.
Oh, wordlessly. Gloria and Mike suddenly sense Archie's presence. Gloria.
Hi.
You're early.
So are you.
He puts Gloria down.
We're just going to go sit down over there.
You're going to sit down or do that again? Where are you going to sit?
Sorry.
Over there.
11:10 of a Sunday morning.
Gathering themselves together, Gloria and Mike begin to sing. Gloria and Mike sing together.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, dear Mom and Dad. Happy anniversary to you.
Oh my, Archie, isn't this nice?
5 minutes more and we would have got it remote from the bedroom.
Gee, Mom, would you tell him it's normal?
Oh, Archie, why do you want to pick on them when you've just had a nice surprise?
They was the ones that had the surprise. Used to be the daylight hours was reserved for the respectable things of life.
Come on, Archie. Certain things are different now than they ever were.
What are you talking? Get your feet off the furniture. In my day, we was able to keep things in the proper perspective.
To Mike, Archie continues.
Take keeping company, for instance. When your mother-in-law and me was going around together, it was 2 whole years. There was absolutely nothing until the wedding night.
Yeah, and even then.
Gloria brings a tray of orange juice around. She speaks gaily to change their mood.
Now, here we are. We have the juice in here. Then we go in there for brunch.
My, how fancy.
All right, leave it there. Ha, Cosmopolitan.
Oh, stop it, Daddy. I think it's very today.
That's right. The in crowd never has a meal in one room.
Archie looks at her.
You're a pip. You know that? A real pip.
You're married 22 years today, Daddy. So talk real nice to Mom, okay?
Listen, little girl. You just go on and mind your own beeswax, huh?
Continues.
And pull down that skirt. Every time you sit down in one of them things, the mystery is over. What the hell is it nowadays? Will you tell me? Girls with skirts up to here, guys with hair down to there. Gee, I stepped in a gent's room the other day. So help me, there was a guy in there with a ponytail. My hair turned right over on me. I thought I was in the wrong toilet.
Why do you fight it? The world's changing.
That's right. That's what the Reverend Felcher was saying. You two should have heard him. Oh, but Mr. Religion here wasn't seeing eye to eye with him.
What sermon? That was socialist propaganda, pure and simple. And don't give me that look. You didn't think it was so hot neither.
I said it was different, that's all. But I didn't curse the Reverend right there from the front row, front pew.
You never had me. Besides, I ain't sitting still for no preacher telling me what I'm to blame for, all this, and break down law and order and all that's going on.
Why not? We're all to blame for not paying enough attention to the cause of it.
The cause of it? I'll tell you the cause of it. The cause of it is these sob sisters like the Reverend Felcher and the bleeding hats and weeping Nellies like used to.
Like us?
Yeah.
I think we better eat now.
No, wait a second. It's you.
Me?
Yeah, that's right. You, the property owners, with your 24-inch TVs and your 4-slice toasters and your ice maker refrigerators. That's all you care about, Archie. Is this what you got and how you can keep it?
You'd care about it too, sonny boy, if you had anything. If you wasn't living off of me without a pot to peel a potato in.
Wait a second. You're the one who said I could stay here while I'm in school.
Yeah, but I thought you was going to be a year while you learn a trade or something. I didn't think you was going to wind up in college learning how to be a subversive.
What are you talking about? I just want to know a little bit about society so I can help people.
People. Your mother-in-law and me as people. Help us, will ya? Why don't you go to work?
I know what's bothering you. You're upset because I was nailing you on the law and order thing.
You nailing me?
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm going to tell you something.
Michael!
Wait a second. I'm sorry, Gloria. I know I promised, but I feel I have to say this. You know why we got a breakdown in law and order in this country, Archie? Huh? Because we got poverty, real poverty. And we got that because guys like you are afraid to give the black men and the Mexican American, all the other minorities, their just and rightful hard-earned share of the American dream.
Who said he wasn't smart? That's beautiful, Michael. Beautiful.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Gets up and he crosses into the living room. Okay. Yeah.
Now let me tell you something. If you spicks and spades want their rightful share of the American dream, let them go out and hustle for it, just like I done.
Yeah, but Archie, you're forgetting one thing. You didn't have to hustle with black skin.
No, and I didn't have to hustle with one arm and one leg neither. So what?
So you're admitting the black man is handicapped?
No more's me. He's just as good as me.
Now I suppose you're going to tell me that the black man has had the same opportunity in this country as you.
More. He had more. I didn't have no billion people out there marching and protesting to get me my job.
No, his uncle got it for him.
All I'm saying is don't blame me, you and that Reverend Bleeding Hat Felcher up there in his ivory shower.
Now that's enough. Talking about a man of the cloth that way. God could punish you for that.
God? What God?
What was that?
Hey, yeah, what God?
Now what was that?
Oh, what was that?
One more time.
What was that remark, Sonny?
Did you hear?
Continue.
Did you hear?
Edith heads to the dining room. Mike follows.
Oh, it's okay. Never mind.
It's okay. You missed a line. Do you want to back up? Do you want to back up? Is that what I'm hearing? Because we've already delivered that line. It sounded
I
beautiful.
didn't really. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Edith heading back to the dining room. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
My bad. I think we better eat now.
Archie, sternly, with the underlined.
Where am I? Not yet. I want to know what you meant by what God.
It's nothing, Archie. It's nothing. You need God, so forget it.
Archie moves to the table.
That's no way to talk on the Sabbath, Michael.
Stifle, Edith.
And no way to talk to your father-in-law either.
Edith, I told you to.
I mean, you know Sunday's a day of rest and peace, and you eat a nice brunch.
Edith, will you stifle?
Archie, we're all hungry.
Will you stifle?
Archie moves to his chair, and Mike and Gloria reach for toast. Archie continues from Will You Stifle?
Don't touch nothing. Nobody eats nothing around here until we get this thing straight. Now, sonny boy, you made a certain referential remark there a minute ago along with the following lines. What God, you said. And I heard your wife, my flesh and blood, repeated it. So let's hear it, okay? What do you mean by what God?
We just don't see any evidence of God. That's all.
That's right, Daddy.
That's right, Daddy.
Explodes, standing and facing.
Well, I knew I had a couple of pinkos in this house, but I didn't know we had atheists. Did you know that we had a pair of atheists under the roof, Edith?
Maybe if we could just eat a little something.
Will you stifle, you silly dingbat?
I don't want no more arguments.
We're not arguing, we're discussing.
I don't care what you call it, it's still arguing.
We're having what we always have around here, a discussion.
I don't see the difference.
That's because you're a dingbat. Now will you stay the hell out of this? Now get that ridiculous hat off of your head.
So long as you don't argue.
Edith, stay the hell out of this.
Pull the microphone away a little bit when you yell.
Oh my God.
What's the matter?
Get away from me, you dingbat. It's all your fault. You nearly burnt the hand off of me.
What did he do?
He helps himself to coffee, then he burns the handle around the other way. Sorry, he turns the handle around the other way.
Mike and Gloria leave.
Daddy, he didn't do it on purpose.
Let me see. It really hurts, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I think we ought to do?
Another grunt from Archie. You know what we think about it? Wait.
Right about in there, I think is your
Okay, no,
line.
yeah, you're right. Right about in there?
Yeah.
You know what I think we ought to do?
What do you think?
I think we ought to eat.
She heads to the table. Camera holds on Archie's reaction. There's an applause. Fade to black, stop tape, and we would like to now give you a commercial break. Here at the Center for Talking Arts, we have a wonderful, wonderful cup of tea, served in a delicious glass with a golden bronze spoon, served just the way you like it, with honey, real sugar, and tinctures of bergamot or vanilla, made by the gods themselves, served in fine, fine china for your tasting delight. Come for the Turkish delight of fine tea here at the Center for Talking Arts. We now bring you your next commercial.
They also got booze.
That's right. We also have booze.
And we have booze.
And we're back. Act 2, fade up. The table. The family is eating. Table talk. Guys, do some table talk. I'll continue reading. One change in mood. They're all wearing the paper party hats. Archie, with some charm.
Yeah, give me the ketchup over here, will you?
Ketchup on eggs? Daddy, really?
Daddy, really? Been eating ketchup and eggs before you was born, little girl, so don't let it concern you, huh?
He belches.
Archie, that's terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Thank you, Trevor. Sorry.
That's So as Gloria is getting up, Gloria.
Well, who's for more eggs?
Sure, I can't help you, dear.
Not today, Mom. Today you sit. If I need any help, Michael can do it.
You won't do him no harm, neither. Last time I seen him lift a hand around here, he was testing his deodorant.
Mom!
Archie, leave him alone.
Yeah, what do you want from me anyway? I don't have time to do anything. I'm in class 6 hours. I'm studying 6 hours. It's not easy going to college. It's hard work.
For you, it's like building the pyramids. Now, I'll tell you, studying sociology and all that welfare stuff, I don't call that no hard work.
Oh, leave him alone, Daddy. I think it's beautiful that Michael wants to help the underprivileged.
He wants to help the underprivileged, let him start with himself. He's got no brains, he's got no ambition. And if that ain't underprivileged, I don't know what is.
That's it, Mother. We're moving out of here. I'm not going to stay here another minute to see my husband insulted like that.
Archie, say you're sorry. If she leaves here, she'll be dead inside a year.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. They ain't going nowhere.
You don't know what it is, Archie. She can't be cleaning an apartment and cooking and marketing. Dr. Feinstein says that's anemic.
Don't give me that. For $10, some of these doctors will tell you anything you want to hear.
He's the best there is when it comes to blood. My own cousins from the hospital said so.
Your cousin from the hospital empties bedpans. Don't make him out to be no specialist. And I know what the Dr. Feinberg said.
Feinstein.
Feinstein, Feinberg, it all comes down to the same thing, and I know that tribe.
I'm telling you, Archie, them kids don't leave this house until Mike can provide for her proper.
Oh, boy. 4 years and I even begin to make a living. It seems like forever.
Let me tell you, sonny boy, the same thought crosses my mind at least once a day.
Mom!
Gloria, you married the laziest white man I ever seen.
All right. It's bad enough. You gotta make fun of me. You don't have to make worse by attacking the whole race.
Who's attacking a whole race?
You are. I said I was the laziest white man you ever met.
You know, what's the matter with that?
White man you ever met.
Yeah, you!
Implying that the blacks are even lazier.
Now, wait a minute, you meathead. You said that, not me. I never said your black beauties is lazy. It's just their systems is geared slower than the rest of us.
Oh, come on, Archie.
You don't believe me? Look it up.
There's just no fighting this prejudice. There's no hope for him. No hope at all.
I'm not prejudiced. Any man deserves my respect. He's gonna get it, regardless of his color.
Then why do you call them names like black beauties for?
That's where I got you, Mr. Liberal, because there's a black guy who works with me down the building's got a bumper sticker on his car that says, "Black is beautiful." So what's the matter with black beauties?
It's nicer than when he called them coons.
If black beauties is kosher with them, it's kosher with me.
Bing bong. Mike goes to the door and opens it and reveals Lionel with a spray of wildflowers.
Hey, Lionel. How you doing? Come on in. You know, in a way, we're just talking about you.
Michael!
Talking about prejudice. I'm glad you're here, Lionel.
He gets up and he goes to the living room.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bunker. Yes, sir.
He hands the flowers to Edith.
These are for you, Mrs. Bunker. A present from an admirer.
For me? Oh my goodness. I ain't had a present in 10 years.
I wonder who it's from.
There's something I want to ask you, Lionel.
Cut back, Gloria. So, Edith, one more time, you're overwhelmed. You haven't had a present in 10 years.
For me? My goodness. I ain't had a present for 10 years.
I wonder who it's from.
There's something I want to ask you, Lionel.
Wait a minute, Daddy. Let her open her gift first.
She waited 10 years. Another minute ain't gonna kill her.
Puts the gift on the table, takes Lionel to the living room.
Come here, Lionel. let me ask you your opinion of something. When you started getting odd jobs in your neighborhood, one of the first guys to throw you a little work your way, by the way, did you fix the TV up in the bedroom?
Sure did, Mr. Bunker.
Swell. Good boy. Yeah, here, put this in your pocket.
Cheaper than a repairman, believe me.
Is anybody talking to you? Now, Lionel, you could say by throwing you these little jobs, in a way I was helping you get some money so you can get through college, so you can become
Electrical engineer.
Yeah, you hear that?
Archie, ask your question already.
Will you keep your drawers on? Hey! By the way, that's a pretty nice looking suit you got on there. I mean, it's classy, quiet. Where'd you get it?
Hey,
Up.
Archie, you're dancing around the question, and you're about to drop you're dancing around being a racist potentially. Yeah. So, but you're buttering him up with charm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So do that again. Act natural.
Will you keep your drawers on? Hey, by the way, that's a pretty nice suit you got on there. I mean, it's all classy like. It's quiet, you know? Where'd you get it?
Up in Harlem.
Nah!
Now I got two more, but one's in yellow with stripes, the other one's in purple with checks. You know, for when I'm with my people.
Well, anyway, Lionel, I'd say you know me pretty good, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, sir. I got a beat on you, all right. I know you real good.
Good.
All right. Let's get to the point. Lionel, what he wants to know is if you think he's prejudiced.
Prejudiced?
Yeah.
Prejudiced against who? I'm sorry, I'm doing that again. Prejudiced against who?
You're feigning innocence is a stage direction. Yeah. Try one more time.
Prejudiced against who?
Against black people.
Against black people? Mr. Bunker? That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
There. You see that, wise guy?
Archie continues.
You thought you knew him. You thought you knew me. Oh, these liberals. They're supposed to be so sensitive, you know. I'll tell you where this guy's sensitive. Lionel! Right in his tusk. What is that word? Tukas. Right in his tukas. Tukas.
Right in his tuckus.
Where?
Okay. And Archie goes to the dining room table, Lionel, with surprise. So deliver that last line again, right into his what?
No, Mike is next.
No.
So you want the tuckus
sorry.
line?
Yes. So
I really screwed that up.
So
Could you say
Archie just gets done delivering. I'll tell you where
this guy's sensitive, Lionel. Right in his tuchus.
Where?
It's a Yiddish word. It means...
Oh, I know where it's at. I was just wondering, Mr. Bunker, what's with the Jewish word?
I hear them. We got a couple of Hebes working down the building.
Does he use words like that very often?
Now and then.
I told you I work with a couple of Jews.
Begging your pardon, Mr. Bunker, but you wouldn't happen to be one of them, would you?
What?
I mean, people don't use Jewish words just like that, do they, Mike?
No, not in my experience.
Maybe people don't, but I do, and I ain't no Yid.
Come to think of it, when your father was visiting last year, wasn't his name Davy or something?
David. My father's name is David.
Yeah, David. And your mother's name, Sarah, wasn't it?
Sarah. My mother's name is Sarah. So what?
David and Sarah, two Jewish names.
David and Sarah, two names right out of the Bible, which has got nothing to do with the Jews.
You don't want to get uptight about it, Mr. Bunker. There's nothing to be ashamed of being Jewish.
But I ain't Jewish!
Look at that. See the way he uses his hands when he argues? A very Semitic gesture.
What do you know about it, you dumb Polak?
All right, I'm a Polak.
You sure are. You're a Polak joke.
Okay, I don't mind, so I'm Polish. I don't mind. I'm proud of it.
There you are, Mr. Bunker. Now you ought to be proud that you're Jewish.
But I ain't Jewish.
I didn't know you were Jewish.
What the hell are you talking about? You, of all people, should know that I ain't Jewish.
Pull the mic away when you shut up.
Yes.
Okay, it's just a little. You are talking with your hands.
See, the Jews tend to be emotional.
Now listen to me, Lionel. But even if you are, it doesn't Sorry. Now listen to me, Lionel. I'm going to give it to you just once more, and that's all. I am not Jewish.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bunker. But even if you are, it doesn't change things between you and me. I mean, I'm not going to throw away 9 years of a friendship over a little thing like that. So long, everybody.
Bye, Lionel. Lionel exits. Archie watches him go and turns to the others. They resume eating quickly. Archie?
Well, I hate a smart aleck kid, and I don't care what color he is.
All right, we stop the tape and we're entering the Act 3. We fade in the family at the table. Archie rising from the table.
Well, I think I'll go up and lay down and watch a little TV.
Wait a minute, Dad. Mom hasn't opened her gift yet. Open it now, Mom.
Yeah, Mom, go ahead.
I can't hardly believe it. Look, my hands are shaking. Oh, my lace hankies. Look, Gloria, 2 beautiful lace hankies.
Is that all?
He starts to walk away.
Hey, wait a second. Don't you want to know who it's from?
Yeah, sit down, Daddy. There's a card there. Open it.
Archie sits. She puts on her glasses, Edith, and begins to read it.
Oh, these are the most beautiful lace hankies. That's real nice. And flowers. I just never seen such. Oh, my glory.
Come on, Edith. Who are they from?
They're from you, Archie.
In disbelief, Archie coughs.
Archie, I can't hardly believe it. I ain't seen an anniversary gift from you since the first.
Archie coughs again, uncomfortably.
Pound his back, Mike.
Keep away from me, meathead.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try using one. See how I look with it? Some people don't look natural with fancy things.
She crosses to her chair as she talks and dabs her nose daintily. The kids applaud her.
You look wonderful, Mom.
Perfectly natural.
Yeah, just don't blow it in. Just don't blow in it. It'll go right through.
Warmly.
Oh, Archie, I just don't know what to say. Except, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, I do thank you, Archie, dear.
She gets up and kisses him. Archie.
Yeah, right, Edith. You're getting me all wet.
Mike and Gloria are in the living room. Gloria hands her the card.
Read the card, Mom.
Archie throws them both a look. Archie,
Oh.
give him the look, Archie. Give him that look. Yeah, give us the camera. Give the camera a look. What's that look you're giving him? Okay. Edith reads the card. Oh.
Oh, Archie, I'll bet it's a hallmark. Well, pretty near. Oh, and inside, there's a verse inside.
She clears her throat.
Together, through all the years I've been with you, we've had our ups and downs.
'Tis true. But life with us has just begun. We've yet to have all of our fun, as long as we're together.
A long beat as Edith looks warmly towards Archie and he looks uncomfortable over at the kids. They laugh.
What are you looking at?
He shoots them a look. Then he starts to rise, and Edith catches him off balance by standing to read the second verse.
And when, my dear, we're old and gray, and life for us is sunny weather, we'll look back on our lives and say, it's been a gay, gay lark together.
Another long moment. Edith dabs at her eyes with the hanky. Archie clears his throat, and then pulls himself together. Compose yourself, Archie.
All right. Come on. Party's over. Let's clean this mess up. Them eggs over there are starting to ferment.
Archie, I don't know what to say. That was so beautiful.
Afraid she might cry, Edith hurries from the room. Archie, noticing Mike and Gloria kissing.
You always have to be doing that. It's as if she was a hamburger.
Mom!
Gloria exits after Mom. Mike?
The card kind of got you, eh?
What do you mean it got to me? It got to your mother-in-law. Women.
No. It got to you, too. I never knew you were so soft and sentimental.
Yeah, well, you don't know much anyhow. I got to tell you something about yourself. You're a person of very little quality. You got no appreciation for some of your finer things.
Archie, we're talking about a greeting card.
And I got some damn good writers writing for them cards.
Oh, my script disappeared. Sorry. Phone call. All right. Oh, sorry. Come on.
Some of your best song lyrics come right from them cards.
All right. What are you excited about anyway? One stinking little poem on a greeting card. It's not like you wrote the thing.
No, I didn't write it. But who had the good taste to pick it out?
I've never used a laptop. I'm sorry.
Mike jiggles his thumbs, indicating himself. Archie reacts. Do the little thumb twiddle there. Twiddle your thumbs. Don't worry, you ain't got nothing else to say. Oh. Because Archie's going to close this out.
Go on, will you, meathead?
Hold on, Archie. And the audience applauses as we fade to black. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for All in the Family, the pilot reading. This episode was brought to you by the Center for Talking Arts.
Hold on. What about our conversation?
Well, no, we're wrapping up the show.
Oh.
This is recorded in front of a live studio audience here in downtown Hamilton. And we would now like to invite the cast and crew and any special guests who would like to speak on their experience of reading All in the Family. But first, a commercial break. Do you have any shows you want to promote, guys?
Are you looking for something to do tomorrow, Wednesday, the 30th of October? Of course you are, because your life is boring and lacking in profundity. Why not come to the Center for Talking Arts at 154 James Street South in downtown Hamilton, where you can be in the live studio audience for the weekly talk show starring myself, Sean Patrick Sullivan. The episode is going to be written and directed by Sean Patrick Sullivan with a special guest appearance by Sean Patrick Sullivan. And as our special musical guest, we're proud to let everyone know that it will be Sean Patrick Sullivan. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have this in-stream commercial.
I can't believe they got
I
Sean
look forward
Patrick
to seeing you
Sullivan.
there. Yes.
Can't believe it.
No, I'm good. I just have a question.
You have nothing to promote?
Well, I don't want to promote.
It's fine.
Spotlight, November 7th. Go to spotlightcomedyclub.eventbrite.com to check out an amazing show with local headliner Justin Shaw and Blind Dave.
Yay! What city is that?
St. Catharines, also KD.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean, David? That's a Hebe name. Yeah. Hey, I wanted to.
Hold on. Okay, well, let's first. We'll get into this. Please. First off, guys, thank you for doing the reading. How did you feel about this show? And better yet, who's reading this or is encountering the show for the first time? Yeah, you've never seen the show?
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it. Okay.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No, and that's why I wanted to say something.
Oh, yeah.
So I had no idea. One.
Well, yeah. Well, let's go through the cast experience. Right after Ryan tells us what he was. Ryan was in this show, but he's the co-director.
I sat there and read the whole script with you guys, and I just had one thing to say.
Yeah.
I can't believe, first of all, how good of a pilot that was.
Yeah.
And secondly, how relevant that was. That could be a conversation right now.
Absolutely.
You know, it's crazy. And does that mean like racism just doesn't change or like what? But like even the social liberal stuff, it all felt relevant. But I want to ask because I've never seen it.
Yeah, maybe we should have gotten to this question. Yeah, go ahead.
Does Archie become a lovable character because he seems like an asshole?
Let me jump in.
All right, let's jump in.
Jason Thompson.
Woo!
First of all, I knew that I overheard you say that you saw it before, but Trevor, you fucking nailed that. It took you a little while to like first 5 minutes or so, but then you sounded like what's that guy's name? That actor? Rob Reiner. Yeah. You
Thank
sounded
you, bro.
a lot like him.
Thank you, man.
Similarly, Edith, superb.
Yes.
And sorry, Sean. Thank you.
Archie Bunker was absolutely amazing as well.
We'll get to the audience here in a moment.
Sean, your Lionel sounded way too much like a Hebe.
Sorry.
But I asked a question.
Wow.
Oh yeah, did you answer his question?
Oh, yeah. It's interesting that you said the cyclical nature of it.
Come here, baby.
There was 1970, the year that this late 70, early 71. 1970 in New York, there was this incident which was fairly well known. I mean, not as well known as Kent State or anything like that, but it was a bunch of Vietnam protesters appeared in New York City, and all the hard hat construction workers went down there to kick the shit out of them. So it was very similar to the Antifa MAGA thing that's going on today. So another interesting parallel to address your astute observation.
Wait,
The question was. Sorry, I'll repeat it. The question was, does Archie ever become likable?
He does. Unfortunately, the Americans have the sentimental streak, and then they had to tone down the British till death do us part thing to make it palatable for the Americans. And then by the end of the run, he was a complete eunuch, Archie Bunker. He was no threat whatsoever. He was like Al from Happy Days. So he went from a character which actually did provide some intrigue as to how could this guy be on television, to just a lovable furry nothing.
Does anyone speak English? Those are big words. Does he become lovable?
I'll take a crack at this. Yes. Through the overall story arc, we do see between that rough exterior of Archie, he is very lovable and extremely sensitive. In fact, this pilot episode does give that undertone with that card, right? When Mike speaks about his sentimentality. Yeah, and we see that. This was a well crafted pilot episode, right? It definitely developed all the characters, and it sets them up as to who they are and what they'll be going forward. We see that Edith is submissive, and I could have directed that more. Is submissive to Archie's, being a lout and loud and kind of trying to be the quintessential patriarch of the house. We see Mike is your stereotypical college student of the time, and we probably see that now, right? They're leaning into he's this democratic left wing we call them woke socialists now, and then Gloria loving her man, but also very much her own person. It's wonderful. And then Lionel, though, I mean, had we had someone here that could have leaned into it, but well done with your Lionel. And Lionel represents, the up and coming. There's definitely economic, strife in this community, this family, and there's still the idea that you have to work hard to get ahead. It's very much the American mindset, and Lionel represents that the black kid moving his way up. But what's interesting is that we discover later on is that his family owns a dry cleaner, and the dry cleaner becomes extremely successful. And they end up moving up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Yeah. And they were moving on up.
Were they the Jeffersons?
They were the Jeffersons. This is Lionel Jefferson.
I have another question, but you get to that, but I have another question. My question is for the cast. Do you think that it's so relevant because it was ahead of its time, or we just are grappling with the same issues and we haven't resolved them?
Go ahead. Yeah, we'll start with Faye and then move to Deshaun.
Deshaun, very, very Indian. I think a little bit of A, a little bit of B, but it maybe not the fact that we haven't dealt with it, but it's the same issues happen in like cycles from generation to generation, right? I think there's always going to be something new that's coming out, and there's always going to be someone who's like, oh, fucking commies, this is like the worst thing. And then the young generation's like, no, this is the best. And they're kind of like the bumping heads in the middle until we kind of find that common ground. And it's just a repetitive cycle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like not even just the racism stuff. Do you notice he was complaining about basically feminine-looking men in the boys' bathroom? Isn't that shit going on right now from some people that have just and Meathead is saying the same things a lot of people's kids are saying to the older. It's like, just get with the times, Dad. Things are changing. I'm like, either this was brilliant.
He's got to finish the question for the first one. Go ahead, Sean. Then that's the follow-up question. Yeah, that is the follow-up question. You're right.
So,
directing the press conference.
Over to you, Ringo.
okay, so so Ryan, I'm going to try to answer as many of your questions as I can in one brief monologue. So, when I was a little kid and I watched All in the Family as an insomniac who lived somewhere that this show was played 3 or 4 episodes back to back in the middle of the night. So
Thank you, Ryan.
So I thought that Mike and Gloria were normal and average, and I thought that there was something really wrong with Archie and Edith. But when I read through it now, it occurs to me that Edith is really the rock of the family because she only runs and hides. She'll only run and hide if it's to spare people her emotions. Everyone else dumps on everyone else. I also find Mike's character to be racist because he doesn't really view Lionel as Lionel. He views Lionel as someone who's oppressed, which is typical of pinko commie sociology students. I also view him as utterly parasitic because it is ridiculous to be whining about the underprivileged when you're mooching off of somebody else. Your job is to make money so that you're not taking advantage of someone, and then if you have money left over or time left over, then you could be underprivileged. Gloria was doing that classic middle-class white girl thing of using anemia as an excuse, which was very trendy in the 1970s, the way that Epstein-Barr syndrome was trendy in the late 80s, early 90s. And to answer Ryan's question about Archie softening, I don't think that it's about the duration of the show, because I think it's actually about your take on Archie's character. Because now I look at Archie as, and it's very bittersweet for me, because my adoptive paternal grandfather, I nicknamed Archie Bunker. He spoke and sounded exactly like him and had the same political views. And it saddens me that he died with me thinking of him as racist and prejudiced, when I now realize that there's a different worldview in the world of Archie Bunker. Basically, he does not view all races or all tribes as the same, but he doesn't view one as better than the other. Whereas in Mike and Gloria's worldview, everyone is the same, but inside of that, there are people who are better off fundamentally and worse off than others. And I think that if I were to watch the entire series all over again, I would find Archie somewhat adorable all the way through, because that Black Beauties thing was an agreement with something. It was an agreement with the idea that black is beautiful. And those sort of word plays and accidents and mistakes happen in every single episode. You might also be interested to know that I used to work in marketing, and this whole idea of making things more appealing to a mass audience was always something that we had to do when we were repackaging luxury brands. I worked for a cosmetics company. And I actually think that sometimes the compromise is a superior product. I don't necessarily think that just because it was the original, that the version of this character in the BBC sitcom was better. I think Archie's, in the American version, is much more complicated. And they continued to change him throughout the series to a point where Edith's character died. And they rebranded it as Archie Bunker's Place. And that happened around the time where Norman Lear's production company started to tilt towards the more superfluous and gimmicky, which brought all of the sitcoms in production along with it. And so that ended up with the much more neutered, almost pathetic version of Archie, who was stuck raising Gloria's daughter by himself. Was it Gloria's daughter or a friend's daughter? It was a friend's daughter. So basically, Archie Bunker's Place, the entire cast left except for him.
Yeah. Listen, can you pass the microphone to Ryan?
Yes.
Okay. No, just so we get some airtime up here. No, that was well explained. I'm fucking with you. Is this? I just want to get it out of his hand for a moment. To also jump on the question, though, which I'd never thought of Mike being racist, but when you say that, it kind of makes sense, and you see that now where
Mike's racist.
Yeah, because he's condescending. Yeah, like
Soft racism.
So there you are. So by recognizing yourself as like the superior white guy, and with all the privilege, and then you're speaking up and almost like white-splaining. You're belittling and condescending towards a black person who clearly, or at least I see, because Lionel speaks well, but does this mispronounced Chitlin-like comment about being an electrician one day to Archie, right? Because he views Archie as ignorant, right? And Archie does, and this is a moment of endearment. Archie, I think, truly believes that he is being inclusive by talking and having engaging conversations with Yiddish people, even though he's ignorant about how he goes about it with his Yiddish word that he picks up. And then hanging out with with a black guy at work who has "Black is Beautiful" bumper sticker. He's trying to connect, and it might just come from a place of complete ignorance. But I think he might be trying his best to somewhat, and sees Mike as being the ignorant one, quite possibly. But this is just based on the pilot.
No, that was really well said, and I just want to say what you said about Archie being I think I'm being very progressive and very forward.
It's like speaking the hip lingo to kids.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, him and Mike. Sorry, I'm draping this across your unmentionables, your gams, lovely gams. No, it's tuchus, which is the behind. Yeah. If you look at it, you kind of have Mike and Archie as kind of like parallel versions of each other, where like if they're on the opposite end of the spectrum of like liberal to conservative, they both think they're being inclusive and aren't really being ignorant, but they both are being both ignorant and inclusive, not with bad intentions, but like their intentions are good, but they can both come off as like kind of like, does that make sense?
They're both wrong and they're both right at the same time.
Yes, which just kind of shows like you kind of, the farther you go around, you're just going to come back around.
That's not mine. That makes for good conflict rating in sitcoms.
Yeah.
Both right. That creates comedy.
Yeah.
You have that in a scene.
What is that? Comedy.
Yes.
Oh, they have a mic over there.
Down there from your experience. And,
Gary Busey?
I've never watched the show. I watched about buttered sausages. I never watched the show. I got like 120 seconds in, like on the way in, so I could kind of like get Mike's voice a little close. But if I was to give like a very more simplistic answer, because I'm not qualified to go in depth on politics or over time, just the way the world's changing, as much as I do stand outside that box and observe it. My simple answer would probably be, it's all these things are still just taught, right? So there's always just going to be a percentage of this racism / prejudice that goes on with some people, and with experiences, some of those things will solidify more and some of the things will fall off. Just depends on kind of how deep it was taught, what experiences were thrown out there. So I would probably say that like you're saying, everything's like, this is from problems that we're having now, thoughts that these guys were having back then, or thoughts that we're having now, very similar. And I think it'll never change completely. There's always just going to be this percentage shift of, the prejudice and the racism and things like that, and the way people think, because just people are always people still. People are always people. Half of what we learn is taught.
Yeah, it's learned.
It's learned, right? And then the other half is the experience. So it's like, and then, like if something's solidified through an experience rather than a teaching, or if it's a teaching that's been over a severe amount of time, it becomes solidified as a belief and a value. And then, that's when we can get confused, and if we're not open-minded, that it doesn't stick. So I think back then, like same kind of thing. It's just a percentage shift. Yeah.
Well said.
Thanks.
Gloria?
I actually grew up watching the show with my dad, so it was actually kind of nice to play Gloria. I think a lot of what we go through now is actually taught by our parents. If our parents teach us to like look at the underprivileged in a different way as a kid, then we walk down the streets in Toronto and we're disgusted by the homeless because that's what we are perceived to see.
Right. We don't do that in Hamilton. We just
just in Hamilton, it's just normal on every block. But I think it's up to us to change how we perceive the world, because it's the only way it's going to change our generation and the generations to come. Yeah.
Here's something interestingly enough. A few years back, there was it was proposed to viewers who'd never seen the show. Is this show a net good, or is it negative? In that, is it racist and bigoted, or is it actually tongue-in-cheek satire? And kids watching it now see this as a racist, bigoted show, whereas a generation previously would have considered it satirical. Right.
For God's sake. Continue.
Way to jump in. Well, since you've introduced yourself as to jumping in, please jump in.
Pool's warm. Okay. So Rachel and I are the only ones who watched this growing up. You did. You did? Yeah. Okay.
Greg and Christian.
I have to pee.
Oh, all right. Everybody did.
You're not special.
So just me.
Tell us more, Grandpa, about the time the television.
Well, okay.
So you had to wind it up in the back.
We did. I have to take issue with Sean's thesis. Archie Bunker did become neutered very early on because there's not very early on, but with a story arc like that. I remember. I think this came out when I was the premiere episode. I was in grade 1 or 2 or something like that. We actually had to get, part of the hype was that this show was dangerous and you had to get parental permission to watch this. I'm serious. That's the way it started out. By the mid to late 70s, it had completely jumped the shark and Archie had become, no longer was he a loathsome figure, he was an avuncular figure. He was, everybody come over to Archie's place and the black guy might come to the door and he might sort of do this. But then very quickly they'd settle down and there would be a grudging acceptance of the Jeffersons and everything like that. And he was cute. The British guy remained acerbic and loathsome to the end. It's not an attack on the quality of the show. It's just an attack on American culture versus British culture at that time. There's just more leeway with villainy in British culture than there is. The Americans like things to be, I love Americans, but they like things to be spelled out to them. They like to know who's the villain, who's the nice guy. There's very little shades of gray. And again, Joe Avildsen, who directed Rocky, directed this film called Joe with Peter Boyle playing a redneck murderous construction worker. Look it up! And I can assure you Archie Bunker was based in part on that character. By the end, he was like Al from Happy Days.
Right, wow. Okay, we're now going to go to our live studio audience for one question. Go ahead, live studio audience, question?
Yeah, I believe there was a problem between Norman Lear and Carroll O'Connor, I think. I think there was like this schism that developed over years because Carroll O'Connor wanted to make it more friendly, and I think he became more celebrity-driven about the piece, and Norman Lear was trying to keep it gritty. I believe I heard something about that there was not argument, but it was frustrating for Norman Lear to keep it on point.
Interesting. You know what? We should ask Norman Lear. Anybody got a Ouija board?
No. That point was by the one and only local comedy notable Randy Hughes.
Notable Randy Hughes, one and only. Ryan Sim, also local comic, one and only.
One observation and one question, quick one, okay? There's got to be influence from this, like Family Guy and Homer Simpson. And then I was just thinking Al Bundy, but then Al Bundy was an influence for Modern Family, which is kind of like All in the Family of our modern time. But it still comes back to, he's like Bob Dylan, Archie Bunker, all the good songs sang by all the people. You find out it was all Archie Bunker's influence. My question.
You're right.
Yep.
You know what? That influence of me as a family sitcom, as a family getting together, the little bit of the stylization of be it The Simpsons, and clearly it's no secret that Family Guy is.
They all grew up watching it.
They all grew up watching it, right? It's very poignant.
And Ryan had a question too.
Hold on, but let's address this. But here's something interesting going back in sitcom history. Homer Simpson attempted to be smart in the initial, but didn't work out. Yeah, and the man being it's a character trope, being dumb, works better because men have power, right? And that goes back to when George Burns and Gracie Allen had a sitcom together. George was attempted to be smart, and Gracie was going to be dumb, which Lucille Ball ends up taking that away. Right? She is smart, though she played dumb. Was taken away, and Lucille Ball essentially did the did a Gracie Allen character, right? Gracie Allen was hilarious until that point. She passed. But my point to get to that is they switched characters. And it turns out that George, being an idiot, was a lot more interesting to watch, and to have Gracie be smart, even though she was a little bit, dumb because you couldn't have women too smart in that time. But women always figured stuff out. And then we also see that with honeymooners, right? You know, the man is the big lout, and then Audrey Meadows, the wife to Ralph Crandon, it figures shit out, even though she sometimes has to like go along with Ralph's plans. So there is a power dynamic when it comes to men and women in sitcoms, and this was the first time that you had a character fully developed, and we don't see this again really until MASH, where it's like a real. Like the dialogue and the poignancy of politics. Yeah. You don't get somebody who's just really fleshed out as a person, somebody you might actually know. That's not a personified character trope. Yeah. I just wanted to really dive into that. Go ahead.
Sorry, Darryl McCallum speaking off camera.
Local comic legend.
Yeah, one and only.
I immediately just got stuck on a comparison between All in the Family and Modern Family. It was a chain that linked it. I think the difference between them is that All in the Family was more of a provocative, meant to kind of, whereas Modern Family, while still as poignant and as a great show, was more of a palpable kind of easily to digest kind of show.
To an extent, yeah, which super right. They had the issue that they had when they were getting started was that they had a gay couple at the forefront, and that was like their break-in, because there was like people being like, oh my goodness, like you're gonna show two men married? What? And that was like a very big thing, but like definitely much more palatable and much less of a culture shock.
Let's give it to the actor who was not gay.
Yeah, he's incredible. He does a fantastic job. And it's the one you wouldn't think is straight in real life.
And his wife was called Gloria. Right? Was it? Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, it's for everyone, and it's pretty simple, but now that I'm thinking about it, Archie Bunker is saying racist things. However, he has black friends. He works with all these people. But this guy, Meathead, is so judgmental, and he's so against what Archie's saying, but like, does he ever actually move out? Because if not, he is a fucking freeloader. Right? So it's almost like when you boil it down to that character, he's judging Archie so much, but I want to know what your house, Meathead, would look like when you're paying all the bills and who you let in your house. I actually think Archie, while he's just himself, might actually be a little bit more open than you think. He just doesn't sound it right away.
The working man.
Well, that's such an amazing question, because we actually do find out very late in the series run what happens when Mike finally is the man of his own house, which is that months later he leaves with a much younger woman. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he ends up leaving Gloria.
So,
yes.
so no. Your question is so insightful, because you're kind of tuning in just from that's how well written it is. You're tuning in from the pilot episode what the underlying tensions and hypocrisies are and how they might have manifested. So he turns out to be terrible, and he also turns out to be an absentee father.
He leaves Gloria with their son Joey.
He doesn't want to have anything to do with his son, and but I forget what it is that you said.
I was just saying that he's judging him, but really, I didn't know, but I was thinking if he doesn't move out, then he is that freeloader Archie's saying. And also, I was thinking, because he's so judgmental, that Mike's house would actually have a lot less diversity, because he would just want all these left-wing people that just echo chamber what he has. At least Archie's let them all live in his house.
Yes.
But just under his rules, and he's willing to adapt. You know?
And one last thing, I'd also like to bring up Roseanne and its unacceptable successor, The Connors. Very well written, but greetings, Earthlings. Roseanne, which was really incredible, was very much inspired by All in the Family. I don't have anything profound to say about that, but as someone who loves Roseanne Barr and views her as my spiritual godmother, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, and Ryan said some really smart things too.
Sean likes rough trade.
Well, I told him that already.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to know what I think?
It was amazing.
I'm just kidding.
You guys want to share some thoughts?
I mean, like, I'm not qualified to speak. I'm super ignorant. Like, I don't understand things. But, all right. But and or however, just like, kind of like, listening to Archie and the way he talks for the first time, it's like racist-esque. It's like, it's not, he, like you're saying, like he almost like, it's obvious that he's ignorant to his racism, but it's like he's feeding off of so much stereotype of that time also, and the things that is heavily experienced by people on just the everyday life, so I think that, like, and especially the people, especially he's surrounded with, right, like with his work and what, what he was what his character was originally based off of. So the vibe that I get from him is like a Red Foreman, though, like an asshole. He almost like knows his the way he speaks is like it's a sarcastic. He almost has a humor behind it, and he's open, and I do
but
believe
he still
that
lets them do drugs in his basement, as long as they're in his house, because he actually knows, Red Foreman.
Yeah.
It's safer.
Right.
That was like growing up in the small town. My parents let us drink at our house as long as we didn't leave.
Right.
So that way, and I was like, Mom, you're so cool. And then years later, she goes, I just didn't want you guys going to the bar and drinking and driving. At least I knew you were going to wake up at home.
Yeah.
Good mama.
Yeah. My dad
Good
was
mama.
like that too. So.
I would say that it's almost like an toxic form of masculinity that you don't hear of today, whereas it's like masculinity is almost joined at the hip with toxic.
Which it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but back then it was like an untoxic form of masculinity. It's like, okay, you may be ignorant to this and that, but overall your actions proved. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I had a few drinks, but I hope you got what I meant to say.
I do get that. I do.
Toxic masculinity is a beer.
Just one more. Sorry to belabor this issue. The humor thing. It's very important. When Joe came out in 1970, it was when it was released in England, it was received and perceived as a comedy, and in the States, it was considered a horror film.
Really?
And it was wildly funny, but the Americans couldn't stand that in-your-face acerbicness at that pumped up to 10. They had to tone it down for television. Joe, 1970, by the director of Rocky, the blueprint for All in the Family. See it.
Wow. He just might dropped it right into his pants. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this was a good table read. Just quickly, give me did you enjoy this show, sitcom, for the first time? Yeah?
Butter sausages.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good.
Thank you.
You read it in a way I could visualize. I had never seen the show.
Wonderful. Well, look at that. That's live viewer feedback in front of our live studio audience here at the Center for Talking Arts. Listen, we're going to be back at another point. Will we be back next week?
So here's the deal.
I'm going bananas.
This might be wrapped, guys.
So here's the thing.
Everybody line up against the wall.
We are not going. So this is the last time that we're doing this format on Tuesday nights at the Center for Talking Arts.
That's right.
What we're going to do starting next week.
All
the way through the end of the year.
Till the end of the year.
Don't do that. I have ADHD. You're really freaking me out.
I have ADHD too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we both.
Do you have an extra Vyvanse? Okay. No, seriously. Do you want an answer to this question or not?
Okay, I just want to try something quickly.
Oh my God.
Learning the beatbox just now.
Edging Sean and Cheeto.
Boots and cats.
Archie! What are you doing, Archie?
All right, I can't do it. Sorry.
Was that your transgender performance for the evening?
I don't know what that was.
That was Edith.
But I don't. You're trying to do it.
Form of
I don't see my
therapy.
therapist until next week Thursday, so I'm screwed. Thanks.
So anyway, a week from today, what we're going to do is we're still going to pick for at least a few more weeks, scripts from famous sitcoms.
Famous ones, like ones you've heard of. Go on.
I'm taking out my hearing aids. So
he's got hearing aids. Oh my God, is there a cure for that?
I represent the internet.
Keep it going.
I can't. I'm having a neurological meltdown.
He's melting. I'm having a meltdown.
No,
too.
it's not.
No, it's bad. Go
This
on.
is why I hate hanging around comedians.
I hate comedians too. Wait, I'm a comedian.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sean Patrick Sullivan. I'm an award-winning writer, an international fashion icon, and Hamilton's most intriguing producer. Starting next week, what we will be doing is taking scripts from famous sitcoms, beloved sitcoms, critically acclaimed sitcoms, and each week we will be reading fewer pages from the script. Well, first 50 pages. Then 25 pages,
more pages,
then 10 pages, then 5.
No
and
pages.
what we'll be doing is improvising the rest, adding in our own characters, our own nuances, as it were.
That's right. We'll start with more pages, less
what
pages.
What this will result in by the last week of December is a spontaneous improvised pilot for a 3-camera sitcom for which we will hopefully get a 13-episode order by the owner and founder to run from the first week of January through the last week of March. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Cfta is going to evolve its own 3-camera sitcom. Thank you so much. I love you and good night.
Thank you very much and good night.
He loves you almost as much as he loves himself. Sean Patrick Sullivan, everyone.
One more time, your names as we say goodnight. Quick.
Rachel Webb.
Trevor McGee.
SPS.
Faye Paulett.
Jason Thompson.
My name is Christian Reimer, and this is Ballerina.
Oh, incredible.
And also the voice of the audience.
Those were the days.
I would like to thank our gigantic live studio audience.